everyone, welcome back. It is day 6 or 7 at the plot. Is it 7? I think it's day 7, and I am up here doing some maintenance today. The weather is absolutely miserable. I have actually started a fire at the top of the plot, but it's a little bit smoky because I think some of the wood got damp from the shed, obviously from it leaking. So I'm going to try and zhuzh that up in a little while. But today's plans are to get rid of the fence that's on the neighbouring side between me and my plot neighbour, remove the fence that's along the back here, and then lift out the cage that I have here. I know I was saying in last week's video that I was actually going to do a compost bay there, but you know what, guys, I've completely changed my mind, and I don't mean to come across confusing by changing my plans, but what I'm going to do there instead is dig out all the nettles because they are just going to be relentless otherwise, lift up the cage that's there, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plant my potatoes there. So because I'm obviously digging it, I'm going to do my potatoes traditionally, so I feel like that kind of goes with kind of the plan that I'm doing, and I'm going to do them traditionally exactly the way my dad taught me how to do them, in drills. And I'm going to do the 2 varieties that I showed you in last week's video, and they're going to go at the front of the plot. And the reason behind that is because I feel like what I've learned from growing in a small space, that whole grow area there is such a huge sacrifice in terms of the grow space. And obviously I know we need compost, I know that kind of thing, but I've been looking into a different solution rather than having the open bay composters. I think I'm going to go for a hot composting solution, which I'm going to do a little bit of research over the next couple of weeks and hopefully maybe do that up towards the shed area. But just feel like it's a head and heart situation for me regarding this compost and that area there. It's a whole bed size worth of food, and like that is the size of the bed that I had in the tiny garden originally, and I just feel like I can't sacrifice that just for compost. That's my plan. I will obviously have a composting solution, but I'm hoping to do hot composting, hotbed composting, that kind of idea, which will obviously progress throughout the season. So I managed to get the cage up finally. It was a little bit more effort than I thought it was going to be. I started just smacking it with a hammer instead. A shovel, because I got a new shovel. I got a load of new things actually, I must show you. So I'm going to pull up this cage, but I don't want to put the cage out the front just in case someone trips and falls on their spikes at the bottom of it. So I'm going to try and clear an area up by the shed, and I'm just going to stow it there because I'm going to go and ask someone at work if anybody has an angle grinder, and then I can break it down into little pieces. So I decided to actually bring Rue with me up today because we obviously had the saga with the food tins 2 weeks ago. Obviously she's protesting because I'm not bringing her to the plot, but I'm not bringing her to the plot because like I just have to be minding her. And then I didn't bring her last week to the plot because I just didn't bring her, right? So no particular reason. I just think it's easier for me to get on and crack on without having to mind where she is, because she'll get up to all sorts. Oh, that was it. She decided to start eating some beetroot, and obviously not beetroot, rhubarb, and rhubarb is poisonous and toxic to dogs. So that's why I didn't bring her the next time, because she runs off with stuff and I don't realise what she's run off with. And then do you know what she did? She decided to take a 2-litre bottle of water upstairs to the bedroom. She decided to attack it on the bed, so that meant that when I got home after all that hard work I'd done in the allotment last week, it meant that my bed was soaking wet with 2 litres of still water, so I had to spend 2 days on the sofa. So that is why this little madam is with me today, because she cannot be trusted to be at home, because I value a good night's sleep. So that is the sagas of Rubu and the allotment. So I've just put out as well a couple of what's called planks of wood. This is my first ever raised bed actually, so I'm just using it to walk along because it's really, really slippery up here. But there should be no more rain after now. It's 2 o'clock now, so yeah, I'm going to move this. I'm actually going to bring you in and show you a little bit closer what has been going on underneath this. So the leak in the shed is starting to get a little bit worse. There is a lot of surface water in that back corner there. And now that I have the flagstones stacked up down here, I'm going to go up and have a little look on the roof just to see what state it's in and what it needs to be repaired. So I don't think it looks too bad. I think there's a few things that I can actually repair up here. I'm going to try and figure out a way to get up there so I can hammer those back in. I do have the pallets, so I might bring a few of those over. Here is the very top of the roof, and I don't know if you can see close enough there. There's a couple of tacks sticking up. Do you see where the felt is lifted a bit? So I reckon if I'm able to get up there and hit them with the hammer, I'll be able to fix the roof leak problem. So it finally stopped raining. The break in the weather did come at long last. So I'm going to continue now, finishing out, getting rid of this side of the fence so that we only have one fence running between me and Holger, which is my plot neighbour. So there's all sorts here. There's actually like 3 fences. So you've got the nettle could be a fence. So I've got chicken wire. I've actually got the green sheeting as well, and I have no scissors, so that's actually really tough to get through. And then the nettle, and then I'm taking out these posts, so I was only going to keep this one, and I think this net in here will come down the way. So I'm just going to push on and get the last of this fence down, and then I can go in and try and tackle these weeds. But I know from under here, those weed roots are not messing. They are some of the hardest things I've ever dug out. So that is the chicken wire mostly gone from the left hand side, which I'm super happy about. It took hours, like total hours, and it's just like snip, 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 snip the whole way through, and I just chunked it into like little bite-sized pieces, and that was the easiest way to get it out. And then obviously a little bit of elbow grease just to pull it out, or elbow grease, muscle strength. I don't know, I think I've been at it for too long. I don't know what words to say anymore. But one more thing I want to do today is top up some of these beds. So the mulch has kind of settled a little bit, and there's a mound of topsoil at the top of the site, and I was reading all about the benefits and microbes that are in topsoil, so I want to go and grab some of that if there's still some there, because I treated myself to a brand new wheelbarrow and a couple of tools. So obviously you would have seen the tools. I did use some of them today to obviously lift some of the stuff that's around the plot, but we're going to head up to the top and see, can we get ourselves a little bit of topsoil to place on the beds. And there's a little close-up of what the beds look like. I think they're looking really good. I do obviously need to get myself a rake just so I can square them off properly, but not a bad start. I won't lie though, I was a little bit dubious about this like cardboard sort of straight on top of the weeds, and I did have a couple of questions about it, and obviously I'm not an expert in this, but like nobody said anything in the comments, so I presume I did it the right way. Obviously I did research what I did, so I think I've done it right. Only the summer will tell what this all is going to turn out like. Obviously I think weeds will come through as the cardboard breaks down, but I'm super happy with how everything is looking, and I'm really happy with the jobs I was able to get done today. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going home because I'm getting a little bit cold, and I will see you all next week. Have a great week. I wonder will that hold my weight? I have no idea.